Hey, there we go. Hey everybody, hope you guys are all having a fantastic day today. We'll look at Bitcoin and a whole bunch of other coins today, so it won't be just so Bitcoin dominant. But we'll start off with Bitcoin here in a few minutes once some people will stroll into the chat. Oh, excuse me. There we are. Okay, I think we should be good to go. Yeah, fine. Alright, we'll pull up Bitcoin first though. Move this over here though. There we go. Alright. See what we can get. I think we're good. Let me refresh this very fast. Sometimes YouTube messes up so I can't actually see you guys' comments. There you go. Hey, first name. Sorry about this. There we go. Sorry, just redoing the title here. Excuse me, pause up with the guys. Hey, Alec. Hey, Daniel. Hey, Kilo. There we go. Hey, Mike. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing well. I'm almost done with COVID for the most part. I don't have the virus anymore on me, but I just have some coughs. I'm waiting forever for these coughs to end, but once they're done, I can finally go back to living life like I want to. Jeez. Oh, it's right there. Hey, Michael, hope you and your mom feeling better. Very much so. My mom went to dialysis today at Taco, and she's feeling a little weak, but she's feeling good. I made her a sandwich for lunch, ham and bacon, double ham. Let's see. Hey, first name, yeah, exactly. I am feeling a lot better. Thanks, my man. Let's see. Hey, Figgles, should I sell? Well, it really depends on what your goal here is for Bitcoin. So, we got enough people. From what I understand, you guys know I've been YouTubing for about a year, but I haven't really understood all the way the markets work in YouTube, like the actual way people kind of hop in and hop out. From what I understand, most people that are involved about crypto or the stock market, they're kind of just doing nothing right now and kind of just living their lives and waiting for market conditions to get better, or they didn't take the time to practice and they lost a lot of money. They're just kind of waiting for something parabolic like another GameStop or AMC type of event. So I don't expect views to go up for a while here for, my channel. I also check out other channels too, but as far as the technical analysis channels, yeah. So I don't have to wait as long for people to kind of stroll in here for the good content. I am going to be focusing a lot more on the tutorial side of stuff, so I would encourage you guys before we get started here to subscribe to my other channel. I changed the name of this channel to Breakout City. This other one is just called Breakout City Tutorials, okay? So I try to make it as simple as possible. I will update all this stuff eventually. I don't really care too much about the how it looks right now. Just understand I got some cool stuff in the pipeline as far as tutorials are concerned. Like if you guys ever had a question about FinViz or TD Ameritrade or something like that, I want to be able to do a quick tutorial on it. So stuff like that. But that's for next week, and I'll probably have it in the Discord. Where if you guys have questions, you guys ask a question there, and then I make a video about it or something like that, and the title of the video would be something like related to your question. Excuse me. All right, so let's see. And hey, George, both are doing a little bit better. Digital mints, all YouTubers clickbait, stop crying. Let's see. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. I don't know how to respond to those ones because the weird thing is, we short as well as go long, so when Bitcoin's going down, we're still making money. But it is what it is. There's always going to be those people that don't like technicals. Okay, so Fiddles, I'll go over what we've been talking about over the last few days. I also put out a video, I think, earlier today, so I'd give that one a check out as well. Basically talking about where we're at as far as like we went over the weekly, the monthly, the weekly, and the daily chats. Okay, daily charts. Excuse me. Alright, so here's a naked chart. All you have is a few moving averages. Let me take off the volume here because the volume doesn't really matter too much at this moment in time. Let me hop off here and make this full. Alright, so right here we have the monthly chart for Bitcoin. Alright, It goes all the way back here to 2017. In fact, what I'm actually going to do here is reverse everything I just did. And I'm actually going to go over here to YouTube. Oh, Coinbase right here, Coinbase. I made this one specifically just because the Coinbase Bitcoin chart goes a little bit back further in history than the previous ones. So we got, there we go. For now, we'll just start over. Get out of volume again. And again, guys, sorry for the cough. I'm getting over COVID. It's just kind of how it is. There we go. Okay. So here we have the monthly chart fiddles. I think we're good here. So before I even start drawing lines on this and doing some technical analysis like trend lines and stuff like that, let's just kind of see if there's a pattern here developing over the past few years. You can see after we had this high back over here in 2017, we went up to about $20,000. We ended up crashing back down here close to this 50-month moving average. The 50 moving average on the monthly chart, okay? We then had another rally all the way up to about 13,759. Then we came back down to that same 50 moving average. Now we've had a nice, really good run up here, and we're having support right now on the 20 moving average here on the monthly chart. You can see we had support once, twice over here, a little bit over there, and and that, you know, that's a nice level of support that we have. So remember that support level later on when we go over to the weekly chart, okay? So, but right now you guys can see a pattern here on the monthly chart, can't you? You'll see it on the weekly chart and the daily chart as well as we kind of zoom out. And that pattern is, let's see if I can find it. I got a mic in my way as well. Where's this bad boy at? There we go. We got this double top reversal bearish only. You don't have to worry about the reversal bearish only. Just understand double tops are usually bearish reversal patterns that signal, you know, a reversal. All right, so let's put this down here. And you can see that pattern working out, right? Top one, top two, down here is the neckline. And so we're going to draw our first level of support right here, all right? So this is support level number one. Or if you want to use the moving averages as levels of support, you can say support level 2, all right? And the last time we fell down below this, it usually ends up being a larger move. So the month that we break down should be a pretty big one. This month had a pretty drastic drop. This month didn't have one, but the following month did. So, you know, I'm kind of giving it a little bit of leeway right now. But you can see the drop from the time we broke down here. Let's just say that was about 52% drop from Bitcoin from the time it hit this, okay? From here, from the breakdown, it was about another like 45%, all right? All right, so now you know we have this neckline. We don't want to fall down below this because that would obviously bring us down a little bit more than we would like to go. Now, if this does happen, where's our next level of support? Well, you can see that we have a support level right here at $19,891.99. All right. So if we were to fall down below that $28,800 level, that would be the next realistic place we could go to without introducing any moving averages, Fibonacci levels, just kind of some naked technical analysis right there. Now that we have those two levels right there, maybe I could add a Fibonacci level. Here, I'll take off this Fibonacci level, but you want to bring it down here. Let's pop it up and see if anything kind of aligns up. You can see as we bring this Fibonacci, I'm just going from a low point up to the high and seeing if it matches. If it doesn't match, it's not going to be too useful to us, but you can see on the move back down, you know, it held once, it held twice, it held 3 times. So 1, 2, 3. It's like we're taking little steps here, all right? And where's the next little step we might take? Down here to the neckline of 28,742 is where the Fibonacci level is. The exact number for the actual neckline for the double top here is the $28,800 level. All right. So it seems like, you know, the past few months we've been tapping on the next corresponding Fibonacci level, and we've been holding it. So tapped, held, following month broke down, tapped, held, following month went down, held, following month come down, question mark. We don't know if it's going to happen for sure. I will never tell you like something destined to happen. All right. Now, let me take out the Fibonacci levels. Let's move over here to the weekly chart, and then after we kind of do this little mini lesson or slash here's what like thoughts and stuff like that, we'll go over a bunch of coins today. Now here's the weekly chart. You can see the double top 1, 2 neckline. Pretty much everything's the same. The only thing I'm going to add to this for the moment here is you can see this green line and this blue line. The green line here is a 20 moving average and the blue line is a 50, and the yellow right down here is a 200. All right. And so you can see right here, this 200 is actually kind of close to this this level of support that we have at $19,891.99. All right. And in fact, if I were to add that other moving average that we had on the monthly chart, the 50, I could just go over here and I can just type in, nope, there we go. I could type in right there, moving average. And for now, let's just make this a thicker line. Let's make it a white line just so you guys can see it compared to all the other ones. And we're going to have this be a 50. But instead of it being on the chart, we're going to have this set to the monthly. All right. And you can kind of see how they're following each other pretty darn closely. The only reason this white line isn't at the same space is because the month hasn't gone by enough for the trend line, the moving average, to kind of catch up to it. All right, but now we have those. And let's look back in history. The last time the 20 crossed down below the 50 on the weekly chart, what's kind of happened over the last few years if we have the information? First one we have is right here, and 2020, we ended up having a crash of about 53% from the point of that move right there. Right here, we had a crash of about 60%. Now, if that was the happen now, I don't know exactly how much further we'd go down. I would say we might come back down here to support, but of course the actual breakdown hasn't happened yet. So there is still a slim, there still is a slim chance that we could really rocket off from here and try to come back above these moving averages and try to get the 20 to separate a little bit off from the 50. All right, so there's still a chance of that happening, but it looks like there usually is a strong, downward force on Bitcoin, on crypto, whenever Bitcoin does have these death crosses here on the weekly chart. All right, and it's not something we want to see, but it's something that could definitely happen. All right, and you have seen actually, at least on the Coinbase chart here, I haven't gone too far back in the past. I haven't seen the 20 or the 50 cross down below the 200 here. They've come pretty close, but they've never actually come down. So I would assume something maybe a little bit more quicker as a quick drop and kind of pivot type of thing would happen here. But don't take my word on that one. I'm just going to assume that one. If we do have a strong drop here, because strong drop rip, this one took a little bit more time, and it kind of glided over right here, the 200 moving average here. Now let's head over to the daily chart. Here, simple. We're not going to overcomplicate this because we've already talked about some other stuff going on. We had this previous head and shoulders here. This was the last stop loss most of you guys had. If you guys had any short swing trade positions around here, any chance of a breakout, head and shoulders is another pattern that's pretty bearish, right? It's a reversal pattern of course. There's a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder. And on top of that head, there was actually a double top up here as well, right? Top, neckline. Even though it kind of played with our emotions a little bit, the crash happened a little bit afterwards. Now, let's forget about that neckline though. Now what do we have to deal with? We have a death cross on the 50 and the 20s crossing below the 200. Those are bearish signs as well. Usually, if you want to think about death crosses are used in the stock market to kind of show when we're going to head into something a little bit more of a bearish market. Think of the 2008 financial crisis. There was a death cross a few months before everything started, crap started hitting the fan, so to speak. Now, what we want to see here is we want to see some type of reversal on Bitcoin. And we're fairly close to that right now. If we want to have, if we want to start getting more excited about Bitcoin and where she can go in the future, at least in the near term, we need to see Bitcoin break above that white line right there. That's what we need to see. There's just a lot of stuff that makes it a little bit more difficult to achieve. You can see right now, my price target right now for Bitcoin was about $40,000, anywhere from $38,000 to $42,000, because I thought we had a chance, when we were down here, to at least get back up to these levels. And if you want to know why, in a basic sense, let me if I can pull up the pattern again. You'll see that, and when we do a head and shoulders play, which we just got out of, a few days ago or a week ago now, we had the head, shoulder. You see how the line ends up forcing us to come back up? I don't know if you guys can see those dotted lines here. Then it comes back up to that same neckline, then it gets rejected and goes down further. All right. And so, but right now, maybe we won't get to it because we do have the 20-day moving average. You see how it's a level of resistance, resistance, resistance. It's been pushing us down a little bit here. If we have a pop, which is definitely likely here, we could at least try to get back up towards 39,800, the neckline, or maybe even above that to these levels over here for this trend line. All right. So there's some hope here. Of course, you're more bearish than bullish right now, of course, but there's hope, right? And that hope is something you could be waiting for. Now, if we did manage to break out, there's something that's going to be a little more difficult for us to achieve, is we're going to have to deal with this 50. Just like this 20 is a level of resistance, this 50 is also going to be a level of resistance. So that's kind of why I'm a little bit more concerned about this breakout, because we might just have somewhat of a false breakout here, where we try to come up, it goes like this, that blue line is curving like this, and then we get rejected back down here, and then it looks a little bit uglier, but there's a false, you would want to call it a bull trap, so to speak. So it's like it's a big bullish signal saying, oh my God, we're breaking out, only for shorts to come in and wreck everybody. We had something similar to this happen a few weeks ago, and I believe that was when the line looked more like, the trend line looked like this. All right, came out, went sideways, proceeded to get beat back down under the 20-day moving average. I'm hoping that doesn't occur here, but it definitely can happen. So again, it's when I do my technical analysis for you guys, I'm going to be a lot more cautious about it because I want to make sure everything's looking okay. And plus, we haven't even talked about the Ichimoku clouds, but that's for another day here. But right now, we're getting close for Bitcoin to make a choice. It's either going to have to try to rally up here and try to break out and then come into contact with the 50-day moving average, in which case we could have a fantastic blowout day here in the next couple weeks, week and a half, or, which is more likely to happen, but you know, I still want to believe that we can go to something fantastic here. If we don't have that breakout, we're going to start getting slammed back down here to this level from the last summer. All right, and that neckline right here, or this level of support, is 28,800. If we come into contact with that, we'll most likely break down. Maybe we might have one pop, like you see how it happened here, one last pop, and then we might collapse back down. And you can bet that there's going to be a lot of shorts eyeing this because they can clearly see everything we have. They saw the head and shoulders right here. They see the double top as well. So if you're a short and you're a whale that likes to, push the price of Bitcoin down, make money as Bitcoin goes down, you're going to be looking at that, salivating, waiting for us to head back down there, because you know the first attempt might not make it, but the second attempt will most likely make us come back down below that $28,800 level. All right. So that's kind of the scenario here. Until we start breaking out and until we start busting above these moving averages, Bitcoin definitely is a little bit more bearish than we would want to say it is. All right. And there are a lot of mixed feelings about this on YouTube or Twitter and stuff like that. I would encourage you guys to check out other channels and see what they have to say. Some channels probably agree with me, I assume. Some say we're going to the moon this month. They've been saying that for a few months now, but you get what I'm trying to say. There's a vast amount of information, so don't feel like you just have to listen to my technical analysis. There's a whole bunch. All right. And then the last thing here I'm going to tell you about is, I forgot here. If I go off here, this is the weekly chart. This is if you really wanted to make a really bullish case for Bitcoin. Now I'm not sure how strong this case is, but you can see right here we can add a couple trend lines. All right. And let me take off this old neckline for the head and shoulders. Maybe, just maybe, we can try to consolidate in here and do some wacky thing like that. Okay, some wacky thing like that, where we're trying to go back up into the $60,000 range, which could be fantastic. The one thing that kind of gives me a little bit of support of this theory here is not just because I have the trend lines, trend line 1, or point 1, point 2, and it held right there. That's nice. What actually gave me a little bit more optimism for this one here is the fact that we're on the monthly chart that we talked about a little bit ago. We're also just holding on right here to the 20 moving average. So that's another level of support we have right here. Now, if we manage to break down below that 20 moving average, it'll most likely be a really bad month during the month that we have that. So I'm hoping that maybe this month we can do a little bit of rebound. Not as likely, but I mean, as much as I love doing technical analysis, and I love doing technical analysis, my full-time freaking job here in the stock market or the crypto markets, the one thing that keeps the crypto markets just a little bit nicer for me in my head, where I can have a little bit more optimism sometimes, is the fact that there's a lot of manipulation in the crypto markets. You guys have seen it quite a bit, I assume, over the the years. You guys have been looking at it over the months or days. If you guys are pretty new, you guys have seen some wacky stuff in here, and because of that, you just have. out of the box things can happen. And so it's okay if you want to take some long shots on stuff like that. You guys know I buy some small positions every now and again just in case we have a reversal here, but I'm not putting too much money down. I'm really holding my money to see what happens at that first neckline of 28,800, and then I will only go, like, I will only put some really large positions into crypto if we hit back down to that $20,000 to $24,000 buying range. If that happens, it'll be fantastic. Who knows how long it'll last for? It'll either last for just a few days or it'll last for a few weeks. But either way, it'll be a great opportunity to be buying crypto. The only thing is, if we do end up falling back down to around $20,000, $24,000, Bitcoin, sure, it'll loosen value. It happens quite a bit, right? If you look at the, every few years we have a major crash. Altcoins will be destroyed. Altcoins will be destroyed, hammered hard. And so it's going to be up to you to decide when you want to be buying into altcoins here, because altcoins are going to be a lot cheaper. If you go back in time, and we'll be doing this today, and with among other things, is when we go over other altcoins, well, where were they, pre-Bitcoin boom in 2021? Where were they at? Well, can they come back down that far? Do they have support levels before then? What are we looking at? And so that's some of the other stuff we'll be talking about. But okie dokie, let me pop this back on the Bitcoin chart that I like. There we go here, a little bit more analysis. There we go. Not too complex. And if you, the one thing I'll tell you here very fast is, let me get off of this 200 average right there. We have something called the Ichimoku cloud that we use every now and again. The Ichimoku cloud is hovering at the moment kind of around $45,000. Usually the Ichimoku cloud is great for finding reversals after a major downturn. So not 100% of the time, but the majority of the time. So last time we had a big breakdown was over here last summer. Bitcoin ended up coming down about 25%, proceeded to break out of that Ichimoku cloud right here, and then boom, off to the races. The time before that was the summer of sadness, fear, whatever you want to call it. We broke out of it, it came up, came back down a little bit, then rallied up, all right? And you want to be careful about the times where it doesn't come down that much. It can be a little bit more scary, but you definitely want to see an extended downtrend so you can see a little more bullish move, right? And the last time it happened before that was all the way back down here in 2020, right here. Broke out the Ichimoku cloud after, I don't even know what you want to call this, a downward trend of about 20%. Not too crazy, but you can see nice pop off from there. So I would assume when if you guys want to be the most cautious about when to buy into Bitcoin, you can just wait for the Ichimoku cloud to be broken. Or what most people are probably going to do is, if we do hit that support level around 19,000, 20,000, 21,000, 22,000, you could definitely buy around those zones with some confidence. If you guys want to trade with leverage, go for it, but just be cautious, because remember, sometimes you buy and the price keeps on going down before it kind of comes back up and then starts rocketing off. So you don't want to be stopped out if you guys are using leverage. So just be careful at those zones there. All right, let me go back over here to the 15-minute chart for a second. We're basically just consolidating on this chart. There's not really much going on right now as far as Bitcoin's concerned to be excited about, just over the next few hours. We're hoping for a strong move one way or the other. We're getting close to this trend line right here on the upward trend and this level of resistance. The red line of resistance is a little bit more important than the orange one. This is just more of a recent one. Okay. Now let me go over here and see what you guys have to say before I start going on some other stuff here. Let's see right here. What's going on right here? So right here. Okay, guys, we'll talk about Bitcoin and stuff like that. What's right here? See, hey Bobby, happy to see you. Hey Richard, I heard that Michael Saylor bought Bitcoin again today. Oh, that's pretty interesting. Him? That is pretty interesting. Hey Carol. Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how all this kind of plays out as far as Bitcoin's concerned. I'm hoping, I hope we can just kind of continue going high, not having any like bad things happening. What the heck is going on here? Oh, it's a curl. Okay. Sorry, my wire was all curled up and I was like making a weird sound in my ear. Yeah, I'm hoping we don't break down, but at least if we do, there's going to be a great buying opportunity there. I'm holding all of my longs here. The only longs I've really shaved off are BitTorrent because of their revamp and the increased supply they have. Bitcoin still holding, Ethereum still holding. I'm fine with them. They're all in interest accounts, so they're still earning me money as all this kind of craziness goes on. Not as much as I would want, but of course, so the prices are down. Hey, Hota, happy to see you back, and hey, Discount Killer. What's right here? Hey, Alp, can we expect some type of volatility soon? Depends on what you mean by volatility. I mean, we could pop up above 40,000 sometime pretty soon, or we could drop down below 37,000 pretty soon. So if you're talking about like a 1 to 2,000, yeah, we could see that pretty soon. If you're looking at something a little bit more drastic, I'd probably say you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer here. I'm pretty much waiting to see if the whales that like to short, if they're looking to fake us out or not. I'll see what happens then, but for now, I'm still overall pretty bullish. I'm not buying too much right now, but beyond my day trades, just because this thing could swing it either way, and it's not going to be up to any of us. It's going to be up to whatever the whales want to do at this point. Hey, Garbage. As far as crypto, right now I'm keeping my investments down to a minimum. I just want to have cash, so whatever happens, I'll be able to make some money here. And because I'm a little bit more bearish on crypto right now, until we have until we actually break out and have something like bullish coming our way, I'm only doing some day trading for the most part. I'm more interested in the stock market, and then we'll go talk about who here. Hota, Ghost, and Ryan. Let me see if I can find the stocks you guys are talking about here. So, Visa. I own a bunch of Visa. It's a retirement play here. So I broke out a few days ago. That's nice to see. I missed that one, didn't I? And it broke out above the 200 moving average. So Visa looks fine to me. Had a golden cross here a while ago. I mean, we're pretty far off of our support levels, but that's not a bad thing, I guess. Okay, now that we've broken out, we do have that level of resistance pretty close by, about $5 away at 237 or so. So I'd say be careful for buying into this. Visa still looks like a strong play, even though it's kind of had a rocky, excuse me, few months. It still looks fairly strong to me. Probably not the best play to buy right now, unless you wanted to hold it for a little bit of time. As far as options market is concerned, I haven't looked at any of the major indexes yet, so let me get back to you on this. But I think if you wanted to buy this, I'd buy 240 calls expiring 3 weeks out or 2 weeks out, most likely 3 if I'm 2 weeks. And then I'd only be looking to hold it for maybe a max of 4 days. I don't want to see if it was able to fight above this 237 resistance level. If that's the case, then my new price target would be 252, and that's where the real bulk of your money would come in from options. So maybe you even want to wait just to see what happens on the next few days. If we're able to break out above that level of resistance, buying above this breakout here would give me a lot more confidence than buying off of this breakout right here. Well, not this breakout, but the fact that it's already been a few days since the breakout happened, and the profit here so far, I mean, depending on when you bought it at, about $5 per share, which equals quite a bit of money in the options market. Good play. If you're trying to trade options, I might wait a little bit to see what happens as it approaches that 237 resistance level. And then Ghost, you wanted to see about IMW. Oh, IWM. Gosh. Sometimes my eyes. Okay, there we go. ETF. Wow, isn't this bearish? Huh. Oh, I had a death cross a while ago too. Yeah, I haven't checked this stuff out in a minute here. Okay. I mean, which level of support do you want right here? I guess this one. 1, 2, 3, 4 technically. All right. And 5 for resistance up there. Okay. Let me just see if I can find anything here. Okay, all right. Yeah, okay, yeah. Can I get anything out of this? This is just me trying to see if I could get something out of this. Oh, it did work. Okay, perfect. Okay. All right. So we see there's support right here on this Fibonacci level and support right here on this Fibonacci level. So right now, that level that you're watching, Ghost, is about $187, $88 or so. I would say right now I wouldn't be buying into it just yet. I think we might be coming back up here and get rejected by the 20. The market's been kind of doing a whole bunch of funky stuff here lately, though. But I would most likely want to be trading the breakout above the Fibonacci or the breakdown below the Fibonacci here, unless you wanted to do something a little bit more aggressive. If we get close here over the next few days to the 208, you could try to actually buy some shorts, some puts on a position to try to ride this sucker back down here, as it looks to, as it'll most likely get rejected from the 20-day moving average here. Now, that's probably how I would play it right now. Safest way is to just wait for a breakdown or a breakout. I'd be much more happy to actually buy puts here than calls, just because of the overall market conditions. It just had a death cross, and this is a very small move so far for a death cross, so I would assume it's going to continue going on. And then now, so that's kind of my advice on that one. As far as what we're doing going forward here, I think that somebody else asked a question here too. I think it was Ryan, and I'll get to your question here in a second. Okay. So as far as the SPY is concerned and everything like that, remember how we talked about over the last few days, I told you guys to buy puts right here. We came back down to support. We sold our puts. We were consolidated for a little bit. We were kind of trapped between the 200 moving average and the support level right here as far as the S&P was concerned. And now we're kind of popping back up here. There we go. On the 20-day moving average. We'll see if we get rejected by this tomorrow. If the SPY and the NASDAQ are able to get back above some of their moving averages here, I'd feel much more confident about the IWM kind of rallying back up a little bit. Right now, the market needs a monster boost to get us away from the death cross. That's really what we need. So we need to have some parabolic gains. Hedge funds can make it happen. I'm just kind of wondering if the news cycle, this war with Ukraine, if that keeps on going up, maybe it'll cool off just for the Olympics, and then stuff will really hit the, stuff will really start going down after the Olympics is over. But I would really want to see a golden cross here as far as the regular market's concerned, because guys, look at the blue line here. That's the 50-day moving average. You see the 200 right here. They're going to cross eventually. They're going to cross. And when they cross, it's normally not a good sign at all. Now, I'm not saying we're going to have a major crash like the COVID crash or something like that, right? The last time we had a death cross was something like this. And this was so forced and so violent that the technicals didn't even have time to keep up with it. So you saw when the death cross happened, it was like a full, I don't even know what you want to call it, a full 7 days after the bottom was even found on this chart. So what we may see as far as a death cross is concerned is maybe something more like this, where we have a drop from the highs of 20%. Right now, we're currently down about 5%. At the low, it was about 12%. So if we're coming down 20%, that'd be somewhere around here, kind of around these support levels of 372 or so. All right, and that's where a death cross would probably take us, unless war breaks out. That could be much more disastrous because of all the energy sector, not tariffs, but sanctions that be put on Russia. Germany kind of doesn't want to do the sanctions path when it comes to the oil because they get their gas from Russia. It's just going to be a complete what show. But right now, as far as all markets are concerned, I'm unfortunately bearish on them. They both have hope here. That's the good thing here. SPY, like in the major indexes, we can go over the Dow to DJI. they all need to find some decent support. And of course the Dow held support here, which is pretty nice to see. And of course, what's it doing? It's also running into those moving averages here. The market could have a fantastic day tomorrow. The market could have a huge boom tomorrow as it looks to pop above those 20 and 50 day moving averages. So there's great opportunity for the market to continue going on here. It's just kind of my pessimism about where the world is at the moment. Like, who would have thought we would have been dealing with like a potential like World War III type of scenario? Energy prices continue to climb. Inflation is getting ridiculous at this point, and there's a strategy to combat it, but it's not going to be implemented for a while. Remember, the Federal Reserve is talking about selling off some of its assets onto the books, right? Well, those assets won't get started being sold until like summertime because of how long the bureaucracy takes to actually move stuff out. So I'm wondering how everything is, but if we get that nice boom, over the next few days, maybe even a couple weeks of just hard hitting, like really good earnings reports, stuff like that occurring, then maybe we can start, we won't have those death crosses, or we can continue this rally a little bit longer. I'd really like to see that happen. But until that happens, that 20 is still coming down to that 200, that 50 is still coming down to that 200 here. So we'll wait it out. I would give more weight to the SPY, to the S&P 500 over the Dow, just because of all that tech money involved. And if you guys put Tesla in there, Tesla's been a friend to many, an enemy to a lot of people as well. Tesla is where, Tesla pretty much controls a large section of the S&P 500 right now, which is pretty darn hilarious compared to how much they hated it all a few years ago. But yeah, so that's what we're looking at right now. We managed to hold support pretty nicely. We're bouncing off of that support. Makes me think that the first attempt is we held. Second attempt, let's see what happens after that one. But for the most part, if you guys are looking at a lot of different stocks here, and I'll go over to Ryan's stock here pretty soon. Brian, let me know what the ticker is for Bridgestone, because I don't know what it is. I'm gonna hope that we can try to rally off here, even though most likely we're probably gonna do this little bit of a shoulder type of move where we come up, come back down. But the market is its own little beast here. I'm hoping hedge funds are willing to pump some money in there. I don't know if there was any major earnings today. Actually, let me see if I can just hop on over here to CNBC.com. If there's some good earnings here that can help boost the market, that'd be really nice. So Alphabet reports big fourth quarter beat. You can see right here, S&P futures is up, NASDAQ futures is up, Dow futures is down, oil's up. Jeez, oil, go down. Starbucks earning miss. I knew that was going to miss. I already told you guys that a few days ago. Oh, I should have bought puts on that one. My only thing about Starbucks is I just realized over time I'm not going to Starbucks anymore. I've been happy with Dutch Bros and other coffee places. Starbucks coffee always tastes a little burnt to me. And I also have an espresso machine in my house, which I paid a lot for, so I don't like to pay money for espressos. Oh, PayPal. Okay, sweet. Okay, so hold on a second here. Democratic Senator Ben Ray had a stroke? Damn, I feel bad for that guy. Alright, so let me take a quick peek here at some of the stocks we're looking at. S-Bucks is the first one. Quick look. Can I not see extended trading hours? Okay, I mean, it hasn't been a terrible. Went back down, came back up. Not bad for Starbucks. Maybe they have some good guidance coming out. Maybe they have some good news. The drop after market was about 5%, came roaring back. That's pretty nice to see. And the other one we were talking about was Alphabet. Great returns here. Oh, they're banking on 3,000 here. That's nice to see. And there was probably one more, but I forgot exactly which one it was. I think it was PayPal. Oh, PayPal, yeah. What all these companies try to go into the crypto space. I personally don't like buying PayPal stock, even though I'm sure it'll do well in the future. It's just because I don't like PayPal as a consumer. I just don't like it too much. I use it every now and again. I'm just not a fan of it as a consumer. There we go. But yeah, PayPal's been on a downtrend for a while here. I mean, it's going to continue crashing even more. Yeah. It's at 143, 147. That's all the way down here. Yeah. Wowza. PayPal hasn't been that low. Yeah, since 2020. Huh. Okay. That'll be interesting then. Okay. All right, everybody. Now, what is this Bridgestone here? BRCDY. Oh, wow, that's long. BRCDY. BRCDY. BRD. Oh. BRDCY. There you go. All right. The daily. Oh, I hate these charts. These charts always look weird because there's not much volume involved. Oh, it doesn't even show. Yeah. See how little volume there is in these charts. So you got to be careful because there's not really much liquidity here. As far as Bridgestone's concerned, I mean, the technicals I gave you aren't really going to help with a chart like this just because of the lack of volume. Let me see if I can find some there. Anything in the past that could be helpful here? No, not in the foreseeable future. All right. Death Cross here. Hasn't really done anything really catastrophic yet. Had dividends, has earnings coming out February 15th. Last earnings was okay. The earnings before that was okay. The earnings before that was okay. Earnings before that was not good. Okay, alright. You know, if you really wanted to trade this, I would say add this to your watch list and wait for a breakdown here. Hopefully that breakdown would occur before the earnings report. That way you could actually trade some options on this. I'm not entirely sure if you can actually trade options on this. Let me see if I can. BRDCY. BRD. Why isn't it on here? Okay. That's fine. But if it does have options, I'd be more likely to buy puts because of that death cross here. The good thing here is, which may be good or bad depending on how you look at it, if you do have a breakout, you should have a golden cross follow that breakout just because of how close and intertwined all these moving averages are. It's really not doing much right now, these moving averages. And that's mostly because there really isn't a lot of liquidity in this market. You know, if I pull up this chart right here, and you look at this, and look at how these candle bars look, and I pull up something like Apple, you can see a major difference in how these candles operate here. Let me go back to the day chart for it. See how they're much more full, they're not looking all choppy and wonky. It's a lot more of a decent chart that you know from the majority, you know, that you've been looking at for a while now. So I'd say be careful about this one. I'd wait for a breakout or a breakdown. Personally, I'd be hoping for a breakdown so I'd have much more room to make a profit off of this. If you hop into the options market on this one, make sure that the spread for these calls is not too wide. And by spread, I mean make sure the bid is like 55 cents, make sure the ask is like 56, 57 cents. Make sure you're not bidding something, you know, the bid isn't $1 and the ask is like $5. That's going to be something a little too wild to be trading. Just because that means there's not going to be many people looking to buy the particular options that you have when you do want to sell them. All right. Pop that back up here. There we go. Hey, Allen, how's it going? It's going pretty well, my man. It's going pretty well. Long day. I went to Portland yesterday to pick up a new Blackmagic 6K camera. It's oh, it's right here. Sorry, I still have the charger in it right now, but because the battery on this really does suck. My friends told me it sucked, and I was surprised by it. But yeah, it's a pretty nice camera here. It's cost me $2,000, but I wanted something good for the YouTube channel, and it's been working wonderfully. I took some tutorials on it yesterday. I recorded some videos. I recorded a video to test it out today. It's a cinema quality camera, so it's a lot more advanced than I've ever used in the past. So something I've had to learn how to do here is basically, well, I let that go. I have to use one of my tripods, which is over there on the left side of my room here. But I those studio lights that I have to light myself a little bit up better. I have to light myself up a little bit better, and then from there, I think I have to get a mic. I did buy a mic for it here. It's a little teeny little boom mic like this. It's supposed to go on top of the actual camera itself, but I'm missing a piece to it, or there's a screw that I don't have. So I don't think this was actually designed to fit directly on top of that camera. But that's fine. I think I'll be able to just get a little teeny piece of duct tape, roll it around, and just kind of do a little short-term little sticky thing on it, and then from there the mic will be able to hear me, because with my video today the audio was a little bit of a problem, and I got the little cord right here, so that should make everything go fine. So maybe tomorrow I'll hop over to the Home Depot and I'll buy some stuff over there for that, but it's looking pretty good. I'm happy I got that camera here. Hey, Niska, what do you think the Fed is going to announce for crypto? I don't think it's going to be anything necessarily drastic. The way crypto is going, though, if they announce it, like, and it's something really bad, it'll just go right into that theme of that double top that we were talking about, and Bitcoin will most likely go down to 20,000 if the Federal Reserve does announce some really radical policy that's anti-crypto or something like that. And, of course, they'll say it's to help the investors out, not hurt them, right? So we'll see a lot of craziness come in the next few weeks there. But if they're much more bullish on it, then, you know, crypto should soar after that. My thing with the Federal Reserve is, I think what they're most concerned about right now is not necessarily the money laundering thing or like keeping track of all the trades and things of that nature. I think what they're worried about right now, or what their goal is they want to create their own United States stablecoin. They don't want to rely on Tether, USDC, or any of those ones. They want to have their gold standard coin that people have to buy into if they want to trade or do transactions in the United States. So my thing here is, will they forget about attacking crypto like Bitcoin, Ethereum, all the cheap coins that sometimes are meme coins that go up and down a lot, you know, very volatile, very high risk, and will they go after those stable coins? Now, that's where I see there could be a problem for crypto. I don't think it'd be a disastrous problem in the long term, but I don't think it would be right for them to kind of interfere with that level, because when the government touches stuff, a lot of times it just doesn't end up being good. And if I just don't have the feeling that government even knows what crypto really is and all the intricate details about it. You know, when you see people go up to Congress and they talk about crypto, there was a couple people that knew what they were talking about, but I don't think the Federal Reserve has really contacted a lot of those CEOs and executives that really understand crypto inside and out, the good parts, the nasty parts, everything in between. I don't think they really understand what crypto is in that sense, or how, you know, I don't know if they can separate it off of the blockchain. There's just a lot of confusion around the Federal Reserve right now, and I just don't know if they're going to try to tackle that can of worms or open that can of worms. We'll see. But for now, I don't think there's too much of a risk of the Federal Reserve kind of tanking Bitcoin. Bitcoin's going to take itself well enough here if it keeps on going the way it has been over the last few weeks. Hey, Ghost, Google 20-to-1 split. I heard about that. That is going to be very, very interesting. I will buy calls on those whenever everything gets revamped here. I'm really excited to see what happens there. But if we go into correction territory, I'm going to love to buy calls on Google as we come out of that correction. Let's see right here. Hey Neil, do I think it goes after a stock split? Not necessarily. What's going to happen here is it's really going to depend on what the market's actually doing right now, because we're kind of on the verge of a correction. If the correction comes along and, you know, during the split, we're unfortunately going to have maybe a short-term boost, then come back down to realistic levels as far as the new Google price. I think once we're out of that correction, though, Google will be a strong buy, because it's Google. Google's still making tons of money right now, and they have fantastic revenue. Everybody's been, you know, buying everything online because of COVID, and so everybody's been doing ads online because of COVID as well here. Hey, Magatoni, you use good Velcro? Oh, I might use Velcro. I got to find a way for it to stick on top without it having to go away, because I need to still use that screw there. But I'm sure I could find something out for that camera, though. What's right here? Yeah, no worries, Ryan. My other concern about the Bridgestone is just that liquidity factor. I see the way the chart looks; it just doesn't look nice to me. But a breakout is a breakout, a breakdown is a breakdown. It's just going to look a little bit different on that chart compared to the other ones we look at. And somebody just asked me about something here. Hey, Discount Killer. I did not see that. That is pretty good. That is pretty good to see, though, my man. That is pretty good to see. As far as India having the tax set to 30%, that's a pretty high tax if you ask me. But I guess every country has their own system here. Let's see what's going on right here. Let's see. Okay, you guys talking about some stuff, and sorry, YouTube's kind of skipping over some of the questions here. So if you guys have a question, let me know. What is the resistance on DWAC? I mean, I don't think DWAC is too hard here. Magnet. It broke out today. Your resistance is just going to be this high part of the candle, which is going to be about $91.50. Yeah, just right there. There you go. $91.50. All right, now let's take a second, guys. I want to actually check out some of these other coins here. So Ethereum managed to hold. It's trying to break out here of its first breakout opportunity. You see how it's trying to come into contact with the 20-day moving average? It's trying to break above it. It could have a fantastic day today, as well as Bitcoin. Right, as of now, they're both getting rejected from the 20-day moving averages. The good thing is we still have another whole 21 hours to break out above these candles. So break above these moving averages. So, you know, if you guys don't want to take this long shot that we did break out above them, now would be a decent opportunity because the price is lower here a little bit. Would it be going in huge here? Excuse me. Most of you guys would actually be buying altcoins because it's going to have a much more drastic upward move. But right now, you can see crypto is trying to tackle some of those resistance levels that we have. And of course, I spilled some water droplets on my glasses. But it is nice to see that, and you can see that actually that trend line matches up pretty well with that moving average there. And then if Ethereum breaks out the new level, the new resistance is going to be somewhere up here at about $33,000, $3,100 or so. Not bad. Doge is untrend right now, hasn't done anything. It's just kind of been going sideways over the past few days. It's at a level of resistance, support. If Bitcoin does come up, you might be able to see Dogecoin come back up here towards 15 cents, but this is still on a pretty drastic downtrend here. Matic consolidating a little bit. Everybody's waiting to see what happens. Yeah, everybody's waiting to see what happens with those moving averages here on Bitcoin and Ethereum. I would say if Bitcoin manages to move, you could see Matic have a nice pop here today to hit about 179 or so. A pretty good jump. Anything else major happening right here? Not really. Okay. ADA holding support. Could possibly hit up to 118 here later on. XRP, yeah. Most of this isn't going to be, it'll be like 5 to maybe 6% pops. Let me verify that, but just by seeing how far this would actually go. Yeah, 6% pop. Ethereum Classic. Oh, Ethereum Classic is already broken out above its 20 here. So its next level of resistance is going to be up here at about $28, $29. Let's say $29 for now. So Ethereum Classic could have a pretty decent day today. You want to hope that Bitcoin can actually break at itself to really push this up. Then it could have a really crazy day up to $31 or so. So instead of just looking at a profit, which is right now about 4.5%, you can at least get up here to the next level of resistance, which is about 6.5%, then ultimately up here for about 16%. If it wanted to go parabolic, a lot of retail traders would have to hop on board for that to happen. And Bitcoin would have to be going strong at the same time. Otherwise, shorts will come in and kill it fast. Death Cross here on Luna a while ago, hovering around the Fibonacci levels. That's fine. Bounce off of the 200. I mean, I could see this having a nice day today. I don't know by how much, but I could see Luna having a decent day. Sheeb curling back up like most for the 20. EOS could have a good day. DOT already pushing up here a little bit as well. DOT might try to get back up to $22, $23. That's not bad. STMX having some trouble with the 20 engine, 20. Nothing crazy though, but maybe get back up to $2.12. FTM with the 50 here. Hasn't had a death cross yet, yeah. Technically, FTM did have a breakout, I think, right here, right? Yeah, so it could have a short-term little curl here. That'd be nice to see. ICP looking to curl back up here as well after hitting another level of all-time lows a few weeks ago, or a couple weeks ago, excuse me, after another death cross. Jeez. Poor ICP. This thing is just having a very hard time. I mean, I bet there's people that still hold shorts from way up here. I mean, that's how crazy this thing has been. Link holding support, running into the 20 here pretty soon. Litecoin 20, yeah. Mana. That's interesting. Not as good as others, but I mean, this definitely has an opportunity here. Dogecoin, yeah, nothing crazy going on there. Sol could have a nice pop. I mean, the next level of resistance for Sol is up here at 129 bucks. Or what is this? 115, excuse me. So even so, that's still a pretty good opportunity for Sol. And XLM, the 20s right there. So most of these coins look pretty similar. Some of them have been more flat than others. But it seems like everything is really banking on, in the next 20 hours or so, Bitcoin having a nice breakout or Bitcoin getting rejected, unfortunately. So we'll see how all this pans out. Let's hope it'll be a good experience for us. Now, why is this acting like this? What did I do? Log. There you go. Right. If you don't have log, it makes like a fake breakout's happening right there. Okay. Excuse me. Yeah, we're still pretty far away from any of those levels of resistance. But now Bitcoin just having a little bit of fun with itself. That's a-okay. Hey, Relevant. No, not yet. It has an opportunity to break out over the next few days here, but first it has to break out above that 20-day moving average. If you want to count that as a breakout, it's on the verge of breaking out of that one right now. Let's see. Hey, Figgles, can you let us know when to open a long or short? I mean, yeah, I don't necessarily tell you exactly when to buy it. What I do on the channel is I'm like saying, hey, there's a breakout happening right here. Here's a decent price target. Here's the next level of resistance if you guys wanted to buy right now. I won't actually tell you to say, hey, guys, buy this right now. The only time I tell you guys to really buy is if it's like a YOLO and we're just having some fun with it. Otherwise, Figgles, if you're new to trading or you're new to my channel, basically, right? I would suggest that you make a trading journal. And so I have a video about how to make a trading journal if you wanted to check it out. It's a simple video. You're going to make it on either Excel or Google Sheets. And basically what you're going to do is you're going to keep track of all, journal of all your trades. You're going to keep track of every single trade you make. And there's some certain factors like, the date you traded it, what was your profit, what was your loss, was it an option, was it a long, was it a crypto trade, was it, was it 50x leverage, 100x leverage, 1x leverage, whatever it was. And then from there, after you complete the trade, you're going to say, did the trade work out well? Did it not work out well? And why did you actually open the trade in the first place? Was it because of a breakout? Was it because of a feeling you had? Was it because your friend said something? All those reasons. And after, after a few hundred trades, you're going to have a pretty good amount of data telling you what you're doing well and what you're not. Then after you get that data, in your system, because everybody trades a little bit differently, all of our data is a little bit different, obviously. What's going to happen is you're going to see what's working for you, and you're going to put more of your money behind those plays. And then what's going to happen is everything that you're not doing well, you have a couple options from there. You're either, my phone's vibrating a little bit, you're either going to do two things. You're going to just flat out stop doing those trades altogether because you don't like, you realize that they're losing your money or they're costing you money and time or capital for various reasons at that point, right? Or what you're going to do is you're going to do practice trading or paper trading. If you like to do crypto, I have a link down below for BitGet. It's for everybody in America and a lot of places. But they have paper trading there, so you don't even actually put any money in there right now. What I would say is get it and practice paper trading. That way, when it comes time to it and you see what you're not working on, you can practice and get better at whatever you were trying to do, whatever you're struggling with. But it's better to practice with money that you don't have to, you can't risk losing, so to speak. It'll help you out a lot more. That way you can use all that money to be working, like it'll be on those plays that you've actually been doing well on, all right? So I kind of jumbled up my words as I explained that, but I hope you got the gist of what I was trying to say. Take some time to practice what you're not doing well. But first, do that trading journal. Record all of the trades you do, and I mean every single one of the trades. You may not like what you see. You may see a lot more red than green. It's okay. If as long as you have some green, you can see what you're doing well at, you can focus on that. The thing that traders don't like when I do the trading journal technique with them, or style of trading with them, is once they realize that they're not good at a whole bunch of other stuff and they're only good at this small amount of stuff, like most traders are, they tend to not. They tend to be frustrated of the fact that because they have less ways to trade, they're not trading as often, right? And so they have less opportunities to make money, which is going to happen. And that's why, if you want to, you can start practicing more on those things that you're not doing so well. But don't put your money behind them, because why are you paying for the right to get better, right? Just keep making money over here. It may not be as funny as you want it to be, but at least your portfolio is growing. So by the time you become a little bit more fully fledged as an investor, you're going to have the capital behind you to start going larger positions. Maybe you start off with a 1x leverage position like everybody else, like spot trading. Maybe move up to 2x. So if Bitcoin goes up 1%, you're up 2%. And then maybe you can go up to 5x. So if Bitcoin goes up 1%, you go up 5%. But at the same time, if Bitcoin goes down 1%, you're going down. You're losing 5% of your position right there, right? So you got to take baby steps into this. But I really suggest you guys, and just anybody in general, make a trading journal. It will help you out so much. It'll be very blunt about what you're good at and what you're bad at. The key is to make sure that you guys write down, why did you buy the trade? Did you buy the trade because of a breakout? Did you buy it because of support levels? Again, your friend told you, a Discord guru told you, a YouTube guru told you. Why did you buy it? And you guys may see some of my trades on there, and you guys will, maybe I'll give you a loser, maybe I'll give you a winner, stuff like that. I know there were people, so I've only given you guys 3 plays in the last 2 months, because I've been really picky about everything, and I'm really trying to make sure you guys don't lose money when the whole market is just not fun to be in. It's just not really fun unless you guys are doing a little more aggressive swing trading, which does work, by the way, but you would have had to be trading for a while just to understand what that is. Ghost has been doing a pretty good job about that. So CTSH, this is a play I gave you guys a while ago, and also we had Affleck, which is another play I gave you guys a while ago. Now, simple breakouts, right? Now, Affleck was a little bit more tricky, because technically it broke out a little bit earlier than we wanted. So it broke out right, I think it was, where was that? When I found it, it was right here. So it broke out, what do you want to say, right here or right here? I gave the alert that it broke out here, all right? I gave the alert that it broke out here. People bought on this day, and then what happened? The world happened, basically. Omicron came to be about. And with Omicron, it crashed the market for 2 days. And those 2 days, for an options trader, that position might have been down about 40 to 50%. All right. So if you had that trading journal, you might have said, I bought right here because Michael said it was a good breakout. All right. And it's okay to blame me sometimes, because I'm not perfect all the time. And then so somebody might have sold down here, and they took the loss of 40, 50% on those options trades. All right. And then down the road, you saw it kind of came back up. So in that trading journal, you could say, what went wrong? I sold too early, panicked. Or you can interpret that another way, depending on how your trading style is. You're going to interpret your own trades a little bit differently. You can say, I got out of the trade out of fears of the new Omicron variant. There's a lot of ways you can interpret the data. It's whatever you want to say it is. But it's rare that we're going to have a new variant, hurting your trade, so to speak. It's not gonna be a one-off thing. But of course, after that breakout, ended up having a nice rally. So even if you bought right here off of the breakout alert that I gave you, it went down about 5%, which is a lot. It eventually came up here about 10%. And so you would have made a lot of money off of those calls if you would have held, but that would have been a very scary opportunity right there. And because, if you wanted to be really bullish on it, you could have doubled down at the support level right here, which would have been absolutely crazy, but people did it. All right. And then the other one we have here, let me get back to Bitcoin here on the 5. The other one we have was the CTSH. This one was pretty fun to trade. This one was a lot easier of a breakout. So it broke out here, okay? Came up a little bit, Omicron. And then from here, rallied up. And this had a fantastic return on it. So it came all the way up here for about 11%, $9 per share, and then from there your options were looking pretty darn handy. So those were two of the bullish plays that I told you guys a while ago, and you see what happened. It came back down to the support, and you guys could have bounced off. So when I give you these plays, and I do my videos, like they're actually full-out technical analysis videos on them, and we come back down to support, well, hey, that's a buying opportunity for you guys the next time you guys see it. And if you guys don't know, I have to deal with a lot of my family stuff right now. Like my mom's at my house recovering from COVID at the hospital and from an infection she got. So I don't have as much time as I would like to give you guys every single breakout play that I see. And that's even affected my own personal trading here. But when I give you these plays, they're usually pretty bullish for a reason, and they usually do like to continue on those trends here for at least a little bit more time. Right now, this is coming closer to a death cross here on the 20 to 50. It's not totally catastrophic, but it's just something to take a note of. But you get what I'm trying to say. And the last thing I told you guys to buy was puts on SPY. My reasoning was the fear of the war was ratcheting up with Russia and Ukraine. The media started really taking on. It's like, oh, this is a news story. Let's get some ratings out of this. And at the same time, the same day, we ended up breaking down below this trend line here. And this trend line wasn't a very long one, but it was a good one. 106 days, pretty decent upward trend. Excuse me. And so basically, I told you guys to open put positions here and then sell at either the 200 moving average or support. We actually ended up closing down below the 200, which means we actually had a really bad day that following day. So I sold my puts for about 700% profit. Secret Fish sold his puts right here for 350% profit or something like that. And the only reason he sold because it was a Friday, and sometimes it's risky to hold over the weekend, which is a fair argument. And now that we've broken out, you guys could have bought a lot more calls more optimistically. Excuse me. Because we managed to break out and close back above that 200 daily moving average. Now you don't want to buy anything because we're at a level of resistance now, but you kind of get the point I'm trying to tell you. So over time, as you guys create these trading journals and you guys start recording some of your trades, you guys are really good understanding of what's working and what's not. And when I tell you guys why I'm buying something here or recommending you buy puts or buy calls or whatever it may be, buy just long 5x crypto. Over time, it's my hope that you guys will be able to write that down in your own words. So, you guys will make those own trades yourself, and you'll say, hey, broke down out of a 105-day, 109-day trend line, broke down, opening a put position because of that, plus war talks, etc., right? And then you're going to have a price target. Was your price target hit? Etc., etc. My price target for this was 400, right? So that was all the way down here. And it was a YOLO play at the same time. It didn't even hit anywhere close to that, but you know what? My options, I bought so far the money that my options still went up 700%. And me being me, I was like, you know what? We have a support level right here. I don't know if we're actually gonna hold or continue going down. So I'm actually just gonna sell my puts right now, or I sold 75% of my puts, and then I'll wait to see what happens in a few more days. But at least I've locked in some profit there. So there's a whole bunch of ways you can kind of trade going forward. But it really does start off with that trading journal and keeping track of what's working for you and what doesn't. And I have no control over, I have a video telling you guys how I do a trading journal. You guys can add way more information than I do. I have a friend, he writes a little paragraph about every single trade, right? He's really trying to go hard to become a full-time trader like me. Except he has more time than me, so he's allowed to do it a lot faster. But I help him every now and again, and he writes a small little dedicated paragraph, like 2 to 3 sentences, nothing crazy, just saying, hey, the thought process of it. So when he comes back, he can remembers the entire process instead of just what he was probably thinking about during the time. Because if you guys write down the date for Apple, let's say I bought an Apple breakout in July, something like that, you might not know exactly the thought process that you had, so to speak. But sometimes just by looking at the chart, you can kind of get it back, but not all the time. So you get what I'm trying to say, guys. All right, here. There are whales buying up little amounts of crypto right now, which I kind of like to see, but I just wish they were buying up a lot more in a short amount of time. Excuse me. Hey, Chris, any thoughts about Ethereum's 8% jump today? I think it's great. I think it can go up a lot higher here if Bitcoin and Ethereum are able to break above the 20-day moving averages. I wouldn't have wanted to buy them at this point here, but if we start seeing a surge for Bitcoin, I think it'd be fine. It'll be much more of a higher risk play if you wanted to buy them right now. but the reward is also going to be high. So, you know, if you like the type of play, you could definitely take a little nibble out of Ethereum Classic. I would say going to be putting more of a smaller amount of capital behind that trade just because it is of a higher risk. But I mean, it's definitely worth playing around with for sure. And hey, Christopher, no YOLO post. I really haven't. I've been so busy the last few days. I drove down to Portland to grab the new camera here, and I've been helping my mom out a little bit more than I thought I was. So I'm going to be kind of. Tomorrow's Wednesday. My mom does not have dialysis. She has a helper here the entire day, so that means I should have the entire day to work, which means I'll probably wake up sometime around 6 o'clock and start looking for breakouts, and I'll try to do a video for you guys if I see any breakouts, but we'll see. It's because of the way the market is right now. I don't like giving out calls in this market, even though the last few calls I gave worked out for you guys. Right now we're still in those levels of resistance and support. So I might give you guys breakouts, but they won't be as bullish as the breakouts I normally give you. But just so I kind of have something to toss at you guys, I'll do that, because I do want you guys to learn on some breakouts as well. And if you guys don't like them necessarily, you guys can always do paper trading for them, which could be a lot better for you guys as far as the educational way to look at it. What's right here? See. Hey Anonymous, a chart in Discord. I can take a quick peek at it here, but I need to stay on this chart. Let me see. See. Devil's Cross monthly MACD flips right on Bitcoin, and this is a monthly chart. Are you talking about the? Oh, are you just talking about moves that come down? Okay, I see what you're talking about. Okay. I mean, that does kind of fit what we've been talking about as far as this overall move back down to $20,000 as far as Bitcoin's concerned. Again, I don't hope it. I don't want it to happen, but it just looks like it's going to be the most likely scenario to play out here. Again, the crypto market can be very manipulated. So I'm kind of happy about that, because that gives us an opportunity to just blow through that kind of analysis that I just gave a while back. But yeah, Anonymous. I mean, it does look a little. It does make the bearish case for us coming down here a little bit. As much as I hate to say it. Let's see. Could this be a massive correction, market correction, to gain Bitcoin dominance again, like we had in 2017? I mean, in part, yes. In part, yes. As far as the Bitcoin dominance, Bitcoin does need to gain dominance here. And as Bitcoin falls, you will see altcoins get destroyed. I don't know if you watched my video that I posted out today. Sometimes YouTube has problems actually notifying you guys when I post videos. But basically, I talked about how if Bitcoin does fall down to 20,000 and it loses about like 50% of its current value, something around there, altcoins will lose a lot more value compared to Bitcoin. They may lose anywhere from 50% to like 80% in some circumstances. So I like the Bitcoin, this potential Bitcoin crash a lot more for altcoins rather than Bitcoin and Ethereum itself. I think I'm going to be loading up in more, Ethereum Classic, some BitTorrent here probably, as long as it's still kind of holding strong, even if it does fall down below 0.002 levels. ADA maybe. I'm still a little concerned about them being delisted off of eToro. I don't know exactly what that was all about, and nobody's done anything after that since. Sol, I'm going to hop on a lot of those metaverse coins again for round 2. I think they're going to be good. I'm not going to add more to my Dogecoin position, but I already have a pretty good, 60,000 coin strong position right now. Maybe some Mana. Link is going to be good. ICP should be fun. ICP does have a really good rebound when it does find new lows. ICP, I'll probably go strong. I'll probably have like a 10x leverage play towards if Bitcoin gets around $20,000 or so. Let's see. Hey Justin, how am I feeling? Bullish or bearish? Short-term bullish, medium-term bearish, long-term bullish. So right now it seems like we want to go back down to $20,000. It just may take some time for that to occur. I'm hoping we can actually have a breakout and start going back up into the dreamy lands of like $40,000, $50,000 range. But the first start to all that, the first thing we need to do to start that journey is just break above this 20-day moving average here on the daily chart, and then from there we can start heading over into the trend line that we've been following for a while, and then we can start breaking above the 50-day moving average and eventually the 200-day moving average, which would be a pretty nice thing to see. But I don't know how the likelihood of us breaking above those. Oh, it's right here. And hey, Justin, descending. Let me check out Doge here very fast. Little flag right here on the second chart. This flag you're talking about? Yeah, I'm gonna consider that. I mean, I'd be more. I'm not really gonna be buying Doge until Bitcoin kind of gets its act together. I think Doge is gonna be fine long-term wise. But what I want to see Doge do is, if Bitcoin comes down to 20,000, Doge will probably come back down here towards 8 cents, 9 cents area. Which would be a pretty significant drop, of course. But then it should be able to kind of rally back up here as Bitcoin does. And then I think with the news that's scheduled to come out later in 2022 with the rockets and stuff like that, I think that would be a great boost to Dogecoin. And they can go for a parabolic run, part 2, so to speak. And then from there, I'll probably sell the rest of my position out besides maybe 5% of it. And I'll just be happy with the profits I made. Because I already sold half of my Doge position at 50 cents, but that was like, that was all the way over, like right over here. That was a long time ago. But yeah, if you're looking for a more bullish case or something, a reason to buy Dogecoin, you could definitely be more optimistic if we're able to break out above this trend line right here. Yeah. Little full flag, pop, coming back down now. Let's see right here. Let's see. Hey, the Atlantean, AMC made me some money today. Let me see what AMC's been up to. Sorry, my dog is making loud noises because he's sleeping. I just want to make sure he was okay. Let's see. Did AMC find? Yeah, AMC is just bouncing off support. It got rejected by the 20-day moving average here. Maybe it has a chance to go a little bit higher. But it was nice to see that it responded pretty well to this level of support here at 1454. Good buying opportunity. It never closed down below. Came close. Came really close. What did it? I'm not entirely sure. But I think my analysis may be a little bit off here, but you get my point. It managed to hold support, at least around the area of support. And then from there, yeah, it looks okay. This is something for more of a YOLO play for you guys. Like to kind of gamble a little bit more in the market. This is a fun gambling play if you ask me. There we go, back over here. But as long as it's making people money, who cares, right? I know people that are buying puts on it, calls on it. People looking for a good amount of money back on returns on AMC and GameStop here. Hey, Figgles, why can't I join the Discord server? I don't know. Sometimes it can just be the link is weird. I don't know why the link is so weird. Here, let me see. Invite people. Edit link. Never. Generate new link. Copy. If you wanted to join the Discord server, I just replaced the link here. There we go. If you hop off the YouTube video and refresh the screen, you should have the new description. There should be a new link in there if you want to try it out. I think it's just because every time I start a new stream, I think it uses an old link or something like that. I don't know exactly how, but I've tried to replace like 1,000 times and it never seems to work. So, but yeah, so there should be a new link in there right now that should help you out. Or I'll put it in the comments too for you. Hey, Christopher, I say we drop and bounce off the trend line. Well, I mean, that's what's happened the majority of the time here. So if we kind of pull back up here for Bitcoin, let's go to the monthly chart. Hop off all the drawings and stuff. I guess the wrong Bitcoin chart. Hold on. Coinbase, Bitcoin here. You know, the last few times we've had these major rallies, we've come back down to the 50 moving average here on the monthly charts. Happen right here. Happen right here. It may happen right here. And that kind of matches up with the support level we have right now as well. So, you know, it'll be fun to see how it all pans out. But, you know, if history wants to repeat itself, we're going to be due for a little bit of fun right here. On the weekly chart, the other historical, you know, trend we can see here, every time the 20 crosses below the 50 here, the 20-week moving average crosses down below the 50 to make a death cross, we end up having some volatility. So that may be the signal that we need to look for to see if Bitcoin's going to crash back down to these moving averages. So you see right here, signal, we came down a few weeks later on, crashed back down to the 20, the 200, moving average. Happened right here. It only took like a couple days for us to crash down to that 200, and it hasn't happened yet, right? So it hasn't even happened yet. So it might even take a few more weeks, you know? But if it does happen, I'm going to assume we have a strong case to say, hey, we're coming down to $20,000 or at least $22,000, $23,000, a lot less than where we are currently. That's the main point, right? But most of the time when we're down here, we're not down here for long because then we eventually have a massive move up. So this one was about 2 weeks. This one was what you would call more of a crypto winter, if that's what you're talking. You know, if you guys see people talking a lot about crypto winter, this is what they're referring to, where we came down for a little bit and we were just at abysmal levels for about 126 days. You know, third of the year, pretty nasty. Not even a third of the year, but you guys get my point. And then of course after that, then we rallied up for, you know, 238% with Bitcoin, but altcoins were ripping thousands of percent in that time. That's why I always tell you guys, look at some altcoins here. Go to page 4, 5, 6, and 7 of CoinMarketCap.com, CoinGecko.com. Look for those coins that are under a $200 million market cap, even under 400, 500 million if you want to be a little bit more relaxed about it. And then put your money in those coins when Bitcoin is at that low, terrifying level where everybody's freaking out. Buy some coins down there, and then whenever it decides to pop back up, whether it's a few weeks later or a few months later, you guys will be primed to make some money, and that money is still going to make you good returns. Because remember, all it takes is one coin for you to make all of that money back. Just one coin. And the majority of the time, it's one coin that goes parabolic, and then it's like a multiple coins that go up just 100% or 200%, something like that. And if you're lucky, you get like 2 parabolic coins or 3 parabolic coins, but come on, what are the odds? But yeah, during those scary times, I'm going to be buying up a load of cheap crypto. I'm hoping by then that Robinhood, like if we have a crypto winter and Bitcoin is like around $20,000, if there is a coin that is on a Webull or Robinhood that has like a lower market cap of like under $500 million, you better believe I'm going to go heavy on that. Because that platform allows you to buy a lot of, like that platform has access to a lot of money. And all of that money pumping up that particular coin, whatever it may be in the future, it's going to be beautiful. It's just, you know, is Robinhood going to add a new coin? I've been waiting for them to add more coins for a while here. I know they're focusing on wallets. I know wallets should be coming out over the next few weeks. But man, I just wish they, you know, hurry up and do something about it. Because they have been taking their sweet time, and their stock has not been doing too well. I'm going to go back to over here to Hood. They just started to have a little bit of reversal. I bought a little bit of Robinhood a few days ago. Not down here, it's more over here. So I'm up like a teeny bit. But I mean, it's a long-term retirement play for me at this point. I'm not really doing much in the short term as far as Robinhood's concerned. I would only be looking at Robinhood maybe if you wanted to long-term options, but in the money pretty close. That might be a pretty good play, but I mean, right now you want to see Robinhood have a little bit more of a reversal before then, because if the stock market continues to have this correction type phase, and we do end up breaking down below the supports over the next week or so, you will see Robinhood and a lot of other stocks continuing to go down to some low levels we don't want to see. But there'll be money to be made at those levels anywhere. Hey, Monica. I talked with Kevin. He said money with the BGB was sent to that account. So, go back there, and you should see a tab when you're in assets called Bill. scroll down and see if you can find a rebated rewards, I think it's called, and see if you can find a BGB amount in that area. And ANF puts, what do you think? Abercrombie and Finch. Now is it breaking down? What is the bearish thing about this? Let me see very fast. Hasn't broken down just yet. I mean, as far as puts are concerned, if you bought puts right now, you'd be banking on pretty much this death cross having an immediate effect on the price of Abercrombie and Finch. As far as, because a lot of the markets are up against resistance right now, it could definitely plummet tomorrow and bring it back down towards $37, $36 if you wanted to buy a put tomorrow, which could be fine. I would probably wait for a breakout or a breakdown before buying something a little bit stronger here, or at least wait until it got up towards $48 or so, maybe $44 before buying into a put. What I'd be looking at right now here is we kind of look at the Dow or the SPY. Doesn't really matter which one right now, but kind of get a gist of what we're looking at here. There we go. See how they're currently at resistance right here? If they manage tomorrow to have a fantastic day, which can definitely happen with the market, like the market can definitely have a blowout day tomorrow. If that occurs, then the Dow's next resistance might come all the way back up here towards 36,206 before ultimately coming back down. So if you buy puts tomorrow, they might lose money for a few days before actually bringing profits down later on in the cycle. So just be careful of them. I'd personally be waiting for a breakdown to occur. I'd feel much more confident about that. But if you did want to buy, it's not like it's not like a terrible thing. Maybe tomorrow we'll get rejected from the 20 and the 50 moving averages on the Dow, and that would probably cause us to actually crash down below the 200 as well, which could definitely just put the cycle back down, which we're like, now we're starting to fall down. So there's some options there. Just out of caution, I'd probably say wait for the breakdown. But if you did want to buy them, the puts are probably more likely than the longs at this point. Maybe just wait until, see if tomorrow is a good day and it gets above like $44, $45, maybe even 48. Then I'd be much more inclined to buy puts there because they're going to be so much cheaper and you'll be able to make a little bit more profit on the way down. I'm going to take a quick second here. I want to open up a new moving average. I just want to see if I can find that moving average here, the 20. Oh, no. MA. And let's do a style. Let's do it white again. Thick. There you go. And let's do the 20. And then from here, let's go to the daily. Ah, there we go. All right. See that white line right there? That's the 20-day moving average. That's what we're trying to pop above. So, I mean, we still look pretty bullish in the short-term play right here. So I'd actually be more inclined to buy some altcoins here for a short-term rally. I would really enjoy trading that. Maybe with some leverage. If you guys have leverage, I'd recommend the link down below for BitGet, just because they allow you to practice trading with leverage before you actually go in there. It's like doing 5x, 20x, even 100x leverage plays, even 125x leverage plays. But we're primed to go up right now. I mean, we're primed. We're ready to go. Of course, we're also primed to go down right here because we've taken so long. But this trend is still, we're still an upward trend here. It still looks pretty strong. So, some of us will probably be asleep, to be honest, when the time this breaks out. But I wouldn't be surprised if, over the next few hours, Bitcoin manages to pop back above that neckline of 39,600, and then we're testing out $40,000 or so. I'd be happy to see what happens there, because then, of course, if that's the case, then we have the opportunity to actually break out here. This is that breakout that's been like months in the making. I would really like to see us break out above this. Who knows if we will? That's going to be that's a tall order. That's a very, very tall order, because right above this, we also have a 50-day moving average that you can't see right now. But there's an opportunity there, and we are. I mean, look at that. We're in good shape, guys. We're in very, very good shape to have a nice short-term boom. Bitcoin may just move up a couple percent, but the altcoins, you may find altcoins tomorrow that are up like 10%, 20%, maybe even more than that, and that's what you would really be banking on this move for. Safe play, buy some Bitcoin. Anything else, you guys can put some more capital behind it. Maybe FTM, Mana had a good day yesterday. Maybe Sol. There are some opportunities here. It's something that likes to pop, something that hasn't really broken down yet. If you guys see something a little bit more of a bullish chart, that's what I'd be looking at. Or find something that's also having is close to breaking out as well. There's a lot of coins right now that are close to breaking out. above their own 20-day moving averages as well, not just the Bitcoin. So, give it a look and see what you guys can find out for it. Hey, Tony. Right now, as far as breakout getting rejected, I would probably say just the way Bitcoin's been going, we can definitely break out of this 20-day moving average. But as far as this overall downtrend, we're most likely going to get rejected by that, or maybe a false breakout here. Most of that is not based off of like the short-term technicals, though. It's much more of what we see on the weekly charts and the monthly charts. That's what leads me to believe we're going to get knocked down from here. All right, so we have an opportunity to reverse all that and do something really fun, and have this be a support level, or have this be the support level from the crashes back a while ago. This be that support level, then we start launching back up towards 60,000. It's a possibility, not as likely, but still a possibility that can play out. And I only give it credence right now because Bitcoin can be very manipulated. It can be manipulated very easily by whales. So when it comes to stuff like that, I feel really, more happy about it. My only fear here is, though, if we start breaking out above this and things start looking a little bit better, you may start to see whales get over leveraged again, which is perfect for getting slammed down by the shorts because they're all going to get liquidated, which would force us back down here to like 30,000 in a heartbeat. Maybe not in a heartbeat, but it would force us down a little after like a week or so. But yeah, I mean, I like where we're at. I think short term, Bitcoin can definitely have a strong move here. This is a level of resistance right now, so the majority of the time we get knocked down from that. I understand that, but I want to believe that Bitcoin's going to go up here a little bit more. Anything else here I see? Not really. There was a double top here. Top neckline broke down just a little bit, but nothing too crazy. Hey, Anonymous. Oh, that is true. There's a lot of historical precedents for all this stuff we got going on, too. Hey, Laura, Coach, I haven't seen you for a minute. Living with Lucy got her Robinhood wallet today. She got charged only 0.02 Dogecoin fee transferred to Gemini. She decided to transfer her Dogecoin to Robinhood. She didn't get the Dogecoin fee. Well, that's pretty interesting right there. That's pretty nice to see. I'm happy people are getting their wallets, though, for Robinhood. They need to hurry up and get those wallets out. And those fees are going to make them money, which will help out the stock price. Maybe that's why they've had a little bit more of a rebound. Oh, hey, Ghost, be safe with the snow. I'm pretty sure you've been through more snowstorms than I have, though. I'm really hoping that out on the East Coast, I've been watching a whole bunch of snow. I'm like, oh, geez. We are on the West Coast. We already had our snowstorm, and I'm happy with just one, even though I might say Loki wants more than one here. He loved the snow. Let's see. Hey, Ghost. Hey, the corporate jobs that you work from home. I miss my corporate job to a certain degree. It was very nice. The benefits are what you love about the corporate jobs. What are my opinions on Bitcoin all-time low volume at 11 billion a couple days ago? Well, that's just another bearish indicator. When you have the price going up slowly and then you have a decreasing amount of volume, that's usually a bearish tell of what's going to happen, right? Right now, we could still pop off here and have a good time, right? Above the zoom out. Okay, it's not going to show me the white line there. There he is. This is really the big level of resistance that's going to be the real pain. I'm hoping we can have some more volume besides that, but yeah, low volume on a slowly uptrending stock or coin chart is never a good thing. It just depends on how much higher we're going up, of course, which kind of ties into the longer term visions of Bitcoin going back to $20,000 and stuff like that. I just don't want to see it happen, but I know it's most likely going to happen. Well, we'll give it plenty of opportunities, though. Oh, there we go. Hey, Gift, what about the 29 levels? Oh, if you're talking about Bitcoin 29,000, we do have a strong level of support there. But what's there is it's the neckline. Let me put the weekly chart on. What's there is the neckline plus the Fibonacci level. But if that neckline is broken, which will most likely happen at this point, right? It most likely happen, but that doesn't mean it's going to happen 100% of the time or 100% of the chance. Excuse me. If that neckline is broken, just like the head and shoulders is broken right here, that leads to a strong downward movement where we might come all the way back down to $20,000 or so. Close to $20,000, maybe just be $21,000, maybe $22,000. But this is just one gigantic reversal pattern. The pattern hasn't even finished yet. We were waiting for the head and shoulders pattern a while ago, shoulder, head, shoulders, and we got beat with that one. Now we're and this was only a shorter term pattern. This pattern only lasted for what? 168 days. This pattern right here, this pattern's been going on so far for 399 days. All right, so we're it's gonna be a much stronger move down, so to speak, right? The longer the consolidation, the longer the pattern, like the larger the pattern, the more violent the move down when it comes, or the stronger the move. Excuse me. See, hey Ghost, I hope you made some good profits on those AMD calls. Let's see. Hey, Lewis, I think that'd be a good idea. I think a lot of people will actually, well, if Robinhood could just get more coins on their platform, I'm sure they could beat Coinbase if they have no fees, or if the fees are so small, right? And if you can continue to buy crypto for free and you're just paying a price to transfer it from wallet to wallet, that's one thing. But I know for a fact I don't use Coinbase because I hate their fees. When they charge me money to sell my cash, to sell my crypto into cash form. Then they also charge me money to send that money to my own bank account, right? I mean, that is ludicrous. But for a lot of people, that's all they have is Coinbase. So what you'd be hoping for from Robinhood is for them to make it as cheap as possible, but at the same time, them finding a way to make money off of the whole situation, because Robinhood isn't doing very well from a financial standpoint. They're trying to figure out a way to make more profit. They're kind of under the spotlight for the GameStop fiasco a while back because of the payment for order flow that they get from some of those mega hedge funds like Citadel and stuff like that. So it'll be tricky for them to do it, but if they can pull it off, it'll be amazing. And it will literally destroy Coinbase. Now, they have to add a whole bunch of coins. They have to add educational sections, stuff like that. They have to try to revamp the app in a whole different way that they haven't thought about before. But they can make a lot of money, just a lot of money. And I hope they're able to do that because it'll actually open up the world of investing for so many more people as far as crypto is concerned. And when you think about that, it'll just, how do I say this? It's just so much more capital in the market, just so much more capital in the market. And when you don't have to worry about, how do I say that? It'll have its ups and downs because normally new traders are much more finicky. But if you think about it like this way, you guys have been trading crypto for a while, or at least I assume for at least a few weeks, a few months. Same with stocks, if you will. I've been trading for a few years now, well, more than a few years, but I do it full time. So my mindset is a little bit different than yours. But put yourself in my situation. Usually when I buy low and I sell high, there's usually some new trader that doesn't know anything buying my shares at the price that I, a professional trader, am selling them at, all right? So that means this guy, he's buying at a place where I personally want to sell. Is there a reason I'm selling at this point? Yes, right? And so, usually what happens is he buys, the price goes down, and then boom, he's all mad, or he or she is mad, and then they lose some money, then they try again, and over time, because they're not actually trying to learn how to trade, they're just kind of following YouTubers out there, Discord gurus, or Telegram alerts, whatever you guys use, and they're not actually trying to learn to become better traders. Their whole portfolio will dry up over a matter of months, and it's a very depressing process. It happens to many more people than you guys think. And they just kind of go back to their day-to-day lives, flipping burgers, working at Macy's like I used to do. All types of nasty, like not nasty, but this stuff, that doesn't really bring out the true happiness in them. But in the meanwhile, their capital, they're the ones that bought my shares. I'm walking away with a nice profit, right? And I'm happy with that. Now, my goal here is to just help you guys understand that we all know we want to buy low, sell high. But it's just not as easy as it's not as easy as that. That's why we tell you about the Fibonacci levels, supports, resistances, where the blocks are as far as, where the whales are looking to buy it at. All that type of nitty gritty stuff that we go over here in the chat. The trading journals, the tutorials about FinViz, TD Ameritrade, all of it, right? So just understand, as you guys get better and better and better, you're going to be selling off your coins to people that eventually lose money. Like, for instance, now this may not have been 100% accurate, but you guys, just because it's like a hypothetical situation, You guys know when Dogecoin was rallying off back in April, I sold half of my Dogecoin at 50 cents. Right? It actually rallied up much more than 50 cents. But when I sold my Dogecoin at 50 cents, people were calling me all types of names. They were really mad at me. They said I was upset. Why did they? Oh, I actually got high. Then I got on live with you guys to kind of guide you through some stuff, even though I was planning on going to bed right after. But Bitcoin was soaring, so me being while I was high, I sold 50,000 coins. I sold half my coins at 50 cents. But then some guy, right? That didn't buy Dogecoin at like 0.0024 like that did. He bought it at 50 cents. He probably held it all the way up to 75 cents, hoping for $1 because he wanted to get those monster life-changing gains. The problem is when you have a coin that's in a higher market cap, it's much harder to get those fantastic gains because you're not going from $400 million market cap to $50 billion market cap. You're having to go from like $40 billion market cap to like, $60 billion market cap, and it's not nearly the same movement as far as the price is considered. And so that guy probably held on a little bit too long, just hypothetical, of course. The guy that bought my coins, or the people, because there was a lot of them. And then, what do you know? They may still be holding those Dogecoins to this day at 50 cents. You just never know how it's going to play out. It's a cycle. But the only thing you guys got to worry about is your trading journal and just making money. Those two simple things, and I try to help out as much as I can on those fronts. See, hey Jim Bob. As far as Ethereum Classic, I think it's fine right now. I think it could definitely have a nice pop here. I'm really waiting to see what happens as far as the 20-day moving average on Bitcoin. If we're able to break out above it, awesome. We have a good move. Right now, we're slowly getting rejected by it. It's not a crazy thing here. This is not necessarily the best chart you want to be looking at because of the low volume. I mean, look at that low volume right here, January 30th. Yeah. Anonymous Bitcoin was actually just talking about that. But yeah, so we're kind of in a bearish spot right now. We have an opportunity to break out and have a nice little surge here, in which case you could see Ethereum Classic have a nice move as well. So let me go, that's the EOS. See, Ethereum Classic is actually breaking out above its 20-day moving average. The only thing is if Bitcoin gets rejected here, you'll see this just come right back down there. It doesn't even matter. But if Bitcoin doesn't manage to break out, you're going to have a price target up here of the 50-day moving average, where it's going to be about $31.44 for a profit of, if you bought now, 12%. So it could be a fantastic day for Ethereum Classic. You just got to be careful with it because you have to be watching to make sure Bitcoin is also moving up. So if you wanted to open a position with Ethereum Classic, you definitely could. But the movement of it, the prospects if you're making money on it, are all dependent on if Bitcoin and Ethereum both break out above the 20-day moving averages. Most likely, if Bitcoin does, Ethereum will. If Ethereum does, Bitcoin will. Right. But that's what you're waiting on right now to get that extra 12%. But you're only going to be looking for about 12% profit. And I would say is 12% profit on the tie-in. You're probably going to have a stop loss of maybe 2 to 3% profit. So you're going to risk about 3% profit to make 12% profit. The risk analysis is there if you wanted to take it. Again, kind of, maybe you want to wait to exactly that moment that Bitcoin looks like it's gearing up for a nice surge above the 20, but that's how you would play it. See. Yeah, no worries, Jim Bob. Happy to help you out. And then, hey, Figgles, you were so right. Yeah, I try my best to help you out. I mean, I've been doing YouTube for about almost a year now. I started back in like last January. I really didn't do much until Dogecoin came along because people were looking for technical analysis on Dogecoin. I was like, I'll help you guys out, and then my channel became something out of it. But new traders make the markets go boom, right? It's been a very easy time to make money over the last couple of years as far as the markets are concerned. That easy time is over. You got to work for your money now, which is going to leave people a lot more confused and a lot more annoyed about where the market's going, or a lot more annoyed about making money. But if you can make money in these types of markets, which I'm trying to help you guys out with, I'm not a perfect YouTuber. I'm still learning how YouTube actually works here, and I'm not a good YouTuber. I just know my technicals, but. It's going to be a process. But if you guys can trade these type of market conditions, when we start going back into those bullish markets, when you have breakouts after breakouts after breakouts, you're just going to be looking so much better. You're going to be able to invest capital so much easier. You're going to have your trading journal down, and so you'll know exactly what trades you want to put more money in, and the trades you want to pull back a little bit more on, just because it's going to be a little bit more high risk on your strategy. So take your time. Really, I should talk more about that trading journal here, but I really want you guys to focus on those because they really do help you guys out a lot. Hey, Little Scratcher. I'm not going to buy any more Dogecoin. No. I sold 50% of my Dogecoin at 50 cents. I still have like 60,000 coins here. Yeah. So I'm still fine with my Dogecoin. If Dogecoin went back down to 0 cents, like I mean absolutely zero, I would have still made a great profit on Dogecoin. So right now I'm just waiting it out to see what happens with it. I know it'll come back up eventually. I know it'll probably hit $1 or so. I'm probably going to start scaling out of my last, 60,000 Dogecoins around 60 cents, 70 cents, 80 cents, 90 cents. Then when it hits $1, I'll probably only have a few thousand left, and I will hold those Dogecoin probably for like a short-term retirement plan just to see what happens with them. But I want to make sure I lock in those gains as far as Dogecoin, because I'm not buying Dogecoin for some type of long-term $20 miracle type of play. I'm holding it just for a nice pouch of money, so to speak, right? Hey, and Halo, you just visited Wall Street Bets today. People didn't post YOLOs this week. A lot of Wall Street Bets users went broke. I mean, well, yeah. I mean, I don't know how to explain this. I like Wall Street Bets. I like doing YOLO plays a lot. But YOLO plays are not how you stay on the market for the long term. It's not how you make a living off of the market. I mean, the last time I traded GameStop was I did it live with you. I made like $1,500 in 5 minutes on an options play because I saw AMC ramping up and blowing up, and I saw GameStop's about to follow AMC. It has to, and so I bought a couple GameStop. I think I bought one GameStop call. It went berserk. I sold it for like a little bit of money, and I was happy with it. I don't know if I have a picture of it. I think I probably deleted it today. Hold on a second here. I've been cleaning out my computer because I just had too much crap on here. No, I can't find it. No, it would have just been a picture from a long time ago, and I don't want to go into my recycling bin because it's not going to be in there. Yeah, it's not there. But yeah, so it was just a quick play. I normally don't buy too much into those GameStop AMC plays. I like doing the technical analysis for you, but you guys know, to me, if you guys are trading those types of plays, it's the same as going to a casino. So I don't put any more than the amount I would be willing to lose at a casino. So let's say my budget for the casino is like $500, and I can usually spend that over hours. $500 is the most I'll put on AMC, GameStop combined, right? They're very, very high risk plays. All the YOLO plays I do are very, very high risk plays. And you guys know this. Maybe this is because I'm just more in tune to what Wall Street is doing right now. But you guys may have heard when Wall Street Bets went parabolic and it became famous and was all over the news and stuff like that. You might have started hearing rumors that hedge funds were actually hiring investors that were familiar with Reddit, familiar with social media, and they were paying them to spy and see what their plays that Wall Street Bets was doing. All right, when that happened, the hedge fund just thought, "Wow, we know exactly what they're going to do and when they're going to do it. So let them do it, and then when it looks like they're going to be very happy, short the crap out of it and destroy all of their dreams. And that's going to make us a bunch of money. That's going to lose them a bunch of money." And I mean, that's what proceeded to happen time and time and time again. So, and Wall Street Bets people kept on buying against the technicals. You want to buy on a breakout. You want to buy on something bullish here, which is why we're waiting for Bitcoin to try to have this bullish move and break out over this trend line, even though the chances of it aren't as likely, but there's still a shot, right? And so, it's just a difficult thing to trade in today's market. And doing YOLOs is not going to make you rich. I mean, it can make a couple people rich because they get lucky. But for the majority of the average people, they're not going to be making a lot of money as far as these options plays are concerned. Not at all. Hey, Monica. Oh, I'm happy you're able to find it. I'm happy, and I'm really happy you were able to find it. All right, let's see. All right, everybody, I'm heading off to bed, Monica. I'm happy you're able to find the BGB in there. Little Scratcher, Jim Bob, Ghost Figgles, everybody, Anonymous. Who else is up there? Wet Doge. There you go. I haven't seen you for a minute. But what do you call... let's see. But I hope you guys all have a fantastic day. Wet Doge, I do not know anything about Metashiba. It might have been a rug pull. I really have no idea. I don't follow the meme coins like that. I will try to find out some information for you by tomorrow, though. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Relax a little bit. Again, we're going to be waiting for a little bit of a pop here. I thought a pop might happen yesterday. Right now, we're even closer to that 20-day moving average. We're either going to get rejected hard or we're going to have a little pop. Those are our options right now. We're not going to just sit next to the 20-day moving average for much longer. We have about 20 hours left until this day candle is over. So it may happen in a couple hours. It may happen in 10 hours. It may happen in 15 hours. But we can have a nice little pop here. The whales are probably going to try to push us up sooner rather than later. We'll see if they actually get a chance to do that. But, shorts are just waiting to short us back down, guys. So let's see how all that plays out. But okay. Have a great rest of your night, everybody. And have a great night, rest of your night as well, Travis.